We are at the top of the hour, so I just want to thank everybody for joining us today for the webinar, 5 Steps to Grow Your Payroll Services to Ramp Up Revenues. We are happy to have both Loren and Steve Foglemam with us today. Loren is going to be the presenter. She is a keynote speaker and one of America's top ranked business coaches. From 2018 to 2022, she continues to be recognized by HubSpot in its annual list of the world's top 22 business coaches. She delivers talks and workshops across the United States at major conferences such as Inbound, as well as many niche conferences as well. She is an expert in pricing strategy and sales for accounting professionals. She coaches them to shift away from the dollars per hour pricing trap to a value-based pricing model. She's a regular contributor to several industry publications and the author of the Amazon bestseller, The Success Solution: Breakthrough Limiting Beliefs for Business Success. So Loren, welcome, and go ahead and I'll turn it over to you.
Annie, thank you so much. And before we even dig in, I just want to acknowledge each and every one of you taking time away from working in your business, serving your clients, doing the things that really keep the needle moving forward in your firm, and joining us today, which I believe is working on your business, getting those insights, that one advanced tip that you can immediately implement to be able to increase the quality of service and raise the bar of what you're doing for your clients. As Annie was mentioning, today's topic is 5 steps to grow your payroll services to ramp up your revenues. If you find you're burned out, motivation is very, very low, maybe you've been even toying with the idea of going back, working in somebody else's firm instead of being a firm owner, then those are symptoms of what I call an upper limit challenge. An upper limit challenge is when you connect your fees to time, and when your time's maxed out, so is your revenues. So that is part of what we're going to look at today, is how to be able to earn more without feeling like a slave to your firm and breaking free of that upper limit challenge. If you're an accounting professional and you wonder how to raise the value of a client, possibly being able to implement payroll services, but you're already so busy, you don't have time for anything else being added to your plate, or clients are asking for it and you don't want to possibly lose a potential client or even the additional income from a current client because of the fact that you're not doing this and you're wondering how to add it into your firm, then you are absolutely in the right place. Steve, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Loren, I'd love to. So hi, my name is Steve Foglemam. As you can see by the last name, Loren and I are related. We have been married and working together for quite a while. I'm a business coach turned, I'm a therapist turned business coach turned whatever. And I'm going to be working the chat and the questions, and I'll be able to get those questions over to Loren. And when we launch our poll, that's a great time to put a question in so I can get it to Loren to answer. Loren, back to you.
Thank you. Just a little bit about me is a sports psychologist turned business coach. And what I have found is my education gave me everything I need to be able to do very, very well. But it also trained me to be an employee working for someone else instead of an employer or a business owner. And because that there were 3 gaps I needed to figure out how to fill, and the accounting professionals I work closely with need that as well. The very first thing is how to communicate value. What are the right words, whether they're on your website, social media posts, when someone is meeting you in person, they ask what you do. What are the right words that grab attention and have someone get interested in wanting to know more? The second thing is how to enroll new clients when you don't like the sales part. In fact, if you go through business school, they don't even have a course on selling, even though they have an entire marketing department. And then the third part is how to price your services when you might not want to connect your fees to time any longer because you're maxed out in time and that maxes out in revenue. As I mentioned, you end up with that upper limit challenge. So those are the 3 things that I find accounting professionals benefit from: is communicating value, how to enroll new clients without being salesy, and how to separate their fees from time in order to earn 2 to 3 times more than what they're currently charging their clients. Now, 43% of accounting firms claim that their clients can benefit from payroll services. That is really significant. 43% of accounting firms realize that their clients can benefit from a payroll services. So let's go ahead and take care of our clients, because I know you're already client-centered, and this is just something that adds value and has benefits beyond the obvious. What we're going to cover today is grow your bottom line, the payroll pricing strategy, and then we're going to wrap it up with the kickstart strategy. I will absolutely give you as much as I possibly can in a short amount of time together today. If you feel you got value and you want to know more, you're ready to get this implemented because you know it's going to make a difference, then I will show you how to have a further conversation in order to have a dedicated conversation about you and your firm.
Well, Loren, what are the steps to increase the value of a client?
Well, this comes right from the raise your rates formula that I go through with my clients. And even if you take the essence of the 5 steps, you will start to work with higher quality clients and be able to increase your revenues without working any additional hours. And I'm going to just give you a quick overview of each of them. Number 1 is those high value clients, because in the beginning, you're probably accepting everybody. And you realize that there's this wide range of low value to high value clients. And it's a different experience working with both ends of the range. So what we want to do is understand more of what is it that makes up someone that becomes a high quality client, and what is important to them in order to build our firm with more high quality clients and not have to tolerate the low quality clients that, you know, as soon as you get an email from them or a communication, it just raises your blood pressure and throws off the rest of your day. So we want to have less low value clients and fill your firm with those high value clients. Step number 2 is then communicating your value, because what you say matters. The things you say that appeal to a low value client are actually different than what appeals to those high quality clients. So we want to really tap into the things that when you say them, it grabs the attention of those high value clients and they naturally want to know more. Step number 3 is packaging your services. This is where we start to look at your services page that has a long laundry list of all the different things that you do for your clients. And instead of doing that, which actually commoditizes your firm's services, we're going to go ahead and create bundles. And each bundle offers a different type of solution that depends on the type of client that you're working with. So when we do this, it actually is the first step to start separating your fees and time. And from there, we go into step number 4, which is value pricing. And value pricing is different than the traditional pricing. With traditional pricing, you're usually looking at your time, your costs, and maybe building in some profit margin. But with value pricing, you're actually pricing the client and what's of value to them. I'm going to go into the steps of how to start moving into that in section 2 today. And then step number 5 is, if you don't like the sales part, you don't want to pitch clients or pressure them into enrolling with you, you don't like discussing the money part, then you want to have what I call a value conversation instead of a sales pitch. By doing this, you're really focusing on what is of value to the client. You're asking great questions. From that, they really want to know more. And at the end of the conversation, they naturally ask you, how does this work? And that's when you can decide to go ahead and share what the next steps would be. So if you don't like the sales part, you want to have a value conversation where you're asking great questions. Anyway, those are the 5 steps of the Raise Your Rates formula: high value clients, communicate your value, package your services, value pricing, consultation, and we are taking a deep dive into communicate your value.
That's great, Loren. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to be looking at is how to grow your bottom line. And do you offer payroll services? Let's see. It's something I offer my clients and I get paid for. It's something I don't know how to charge for, and it's in the works, or I'm still gathering information about how it works. Once again, do you offer payroll services? It's something I offer clients and I get paid for. It's something I don't know how to charge for. It's in the works. still gathering information about how it works. Great. And once again, I said, if you have any questions, this will be a great time to put them into the chat and we can go ahead and answer those questions for you. And as soon as we're ready, we will go ahead and close the poll and I will read the results to you. Okay. It's something that I offer clients and I get paid for is 83%. Something I don't know how to charge for is 6%. It's in the works, 9%. Still gathering information about how it works is 3%. Great, that looks good. So Loren, accounting professionals are really hard workers. What are the common ways to generate revenue for their firms?
Well, there's actually three primary ways to be able to bring revenue into your firm. There's passive revenue, which is going to be affiliate commission, referral fees. It might be that you do a video series that is something that people can do on their own learning, a self-study program. So those are some of the things that create passive revenue, which means that you have money coming in, maybe you build it once and then it's done and you just be able to reap the profits afterwards. Or it's about you make a connection to someone and you get a referral fee for that connection. You offer pass-through service and you're getting paid for that, and that there is a profit margin on what you're paying for the service. You're trying to use the service, but you're white labeling it and they're paying you directly. So that is the ways to have passive. And then there's leverage, which is one-to-many. It's similar to payroll services. With payroll services, you can up a payroll in about 3 minutes, but that doesn't mean that you're only getting paid for 3 minutes of your time. You're getting paid for offering the service to your clients and being able to take care of that for them. And then there is direct services. This is where it might be having a direct meeting with your clients, or you're working on a client's file. And as a result, you can only work on one client at a time. So it's a one-to-one type of service. So those are the three different ways to be able to generate revenue: is passive, leveraged, direct. And I want to say it's great to have a combination of all three, as opposed to primarily relying on just one type of revenue stream.
Well, what motivates accounting firms to add payroll services to their firm?
Well, what I have seen is payroll is so much easier now than what it used to be. But as I was researching this, it shows a significant amount of business owners are still doing manual payroll, and there's risks involved in that. So what I would say is technology has made it so much easier for you to be able to offer payroll services. It's not as cumbersome as it used to be. The other part is you have clients asking for it, or maybe you have a new client coming to you that wants that also. So now you can do wraparound services. So that is something to think about. And the other part of it is if you're going through something like Patriot for your payroll services, you can do it from anywhere because of the fact that it's a software product and that it doesn't matter about geography or location any longer. So those are some of the things that are motivating accounting firms to add payroll services. And I would love to hear from you in the chat. What is motivating you, or what motivated you to add payroll services to your firm? So would love for you to be able to put that in the chat. What motivated you to add payroll services to your firm? And something to think about is that offering payroll services also benefits your firm. So one way is that it's now a one-stop shop. You can offer a whole range of financials. You can be an outsourced accounting department for your clients now. This creates recurring revenue that, if they enroll in payroll, this is going to be something that you're going to be doing for them on a regular basis every time that they do payroll. It increases the value of a client because it's now one more thing that they benefit from working with you, and you can go ahead and charge for that particular service also. Because of the fact that you're doing several services for your clients and they are delighted with how client-centered you are, it raises client loyalty. Diversifies your services. You're not just focusing on one stream of revenue any longer. So if your business tends to be a little bit more seasonal, this gives you recurring year-round revenue, and it helps with W-2 filings. So the other thing is that, okay, people said the reason that they added payroll services, Rachel said additional income. Brandy said my small clients needed payroll services and I don't like the big companies. They're not personal and don't have a lot of time to be that way. Peg said 33 years ago, I started my business with just payroll and then added bookkeeping and taxes. She also likes payroll and have solved a lot of payroll problems now that she sees herself as an expert. So those are some of the reasons that you've added payroll services. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Well, what do accounting professionals need to consider when you're thinking about offering clients payroll services?
Something to think about when offering services is when you talk about doing payroll services, your clients see you as a technician. They see you as someone that's doing data entry for them, and they really don't understand the expertise that you bring to the table. But now, if we talk about offering payroll solutions, they're seeing you as an advisor, a consultant, someone that has the expertise, not just to help with doing their payroll, but also with helping them navigate through some of the ins and outs that come up with payroll. So think about that for you. It's not a very big difference. You're still doing the same service, but it's how you're using those words to communicate your value. You can either offer a payroll service, but I'm going to tell you an advanced move is start talking about payroll solutions. That's going to make a big difference in how they start seeing you.
Well, what are some of the biggest roadblocks or challenges that keep a firm from adding these payroll services?
Okay, let's just be honest. The biggest roadblock is usually ourselves as firm owners. We are the biggest block to our own success so often because we want to make sure that we're giving a high level of service to our clients. We want to ensure that we're doing everything perfectly, that there are no mistakes because we don't want pushback or someone coming back to us and saying what happened, that we're making mistakes. So we're getting in our own way a lot of times when it comes to our firm's success. The other part with the mindset is that you might believe that you're already busy. How can you even add one more thing in? How can you make room for doing this additional thing? Another part is that laws changed all the time. So how can you stay on top of the ever-changing laws in order to make sure that it is compliant when you're running payroll for your clients? Or maybe you want to bring it in, but you're just not sure how to market this to your existing clients or to new clients coming to you. So those are some of the things that prevent firm owners from being able to actually bring payroll into the services that they offer. When I first met Karen, she was doing all things for all people. She said yes to everybody. But the truth is, she actually has a niche. She is a specialist on the accounting needs for attorneys and law firms. And because she really is very client-centered, she wants to be able to delight them so they stay with her longer. She said yes to everything, which meant that she was doing a wide range of services for them. And even if they were asking for some that was out of her scope, she would go ahead and take it on also. So as a result of that, she was working a lot of hours. But what we did is we really got dialed in to her clients who happen to be law firm owners and how to be able to go ahead and meet their needs in a way that was solution focused so that they would see her as an advisor as opposed to simply an accounting professional. And as you can see, she created 3 packages, the silver, gold, and the platinum. And it includes a variety of different services in each package. By having packages, it now creates boundary, it contains scope, and it also educates them about how to communicate with her and what to expect. With some of her clients, some wanted payroll, some didn't. So we had some menu pricing here as well, so that if they needed payroll, we can go ahead and easily bring that into a package so that it was unique for that particular firm's needs. So think about that for you. If you had some package options, then clients are thinking about how to work with you and which one is the best fit for them. The other thing that happened as a result of doing this is that by being more focused, Karen was able to actually reduce her workload. She delegated more to her staff, and she went ahead and finally got her dream home. This was something that she'd been wanting to do for years, but she just couldn't because she was maxed out and her revenues didn't reflect her value. So she purchased her dream home, which tended to be a turn of the century home that was built in the 1800s and needed a complete overhaul. She was so delighted to have to remodel this in order for it to be up to period and really a delight for her to live in. So think about whatever your pet project is that you haven't been able to do because you're maxed out working and you would love to be able to make that happen. This is part of what focusing on the value, increasing the value of a client, and being able to maintain the scope does for you, your firm, as well as for your personal life.
Well, we're going to move forward, Lauren. We're going to go into the payroll pricing strategy. But before we do that, we have our next poll question. Who would you offer payroll services to? All my clients, a select few of my clients, I'm really unsure. Once again, who would you offer payroll services to? All my clients, a select few of my clients, or I'm really unsure.
And Steve, have you been getting any questions? Or not yet?
I actually saw a couple of comments. Kelly was saying that she did not see the packages.
Yeah, I think that Annie answered that.
I think they got
for her.
that. Yeah, I think we got that taken care of.
So no questions right now.
No questions right now.
Okay. And I just want to see if anybody has any, please go ahead and put them in the chat. We want to make sure that we are answering. And if you want to go ahead and close the poll so we can move forward.
So who would you offer payroll services to? All my clients, 63%, a select few of my clients, 31%, or I'm unsure is 6%. Well, Lauren, let's talk about the pricing part. What do the firm owners consider when pricing their payroll services?
Well, this is something, whether you work with a wide range of business owners or you have a particular niche, the fact is that different clients have different needs. If we're talking about you offering services to a wide range of business owners, then the needs for someone in the construction industry is going to be very, very different than someone who has a law firm. So think about that for you. What are the specific needs that your clients have when they're reaching out to you for payroll services? And even if you do have a niche, it might be that where they are in their business journey and growth is going to affect what type of services they need from you as well regarding payroll. So someone who's just starting out might just have just themselves on payroll or maybe a couple of employees. It's very, very simple, basic needs. And then as their firm grows or their business grows, they're going to have more complexity because somebody might need garnishment. There's other people that might be putting money into some type of investment that you offer, that they offer some type of matching funds. So there's a whole bunch of different things that happen as their business grows. And as their business grows, so does the scope of their payroll needs. But once again, different clients, whether it's where they are in their growth journey as a business owner, or whether they're in one particular industry versus another, they're going to all have some different needs. And something to think about as you're moving forward with this is that it is absolutely possible to package payroll services. And this is where you are now looking at giving your client options. So you're pricing the client as opposed to your services. It allows you to start earning more than when you go ahead and are just tracking time, because now clients are paying for a particular outcome as opposed to what might be on a line item invoice. And the way the packages work is I usually help my clients create silver, gold, and diamond packages. The silver is going to be the very basic needs. If we're talking about payroll services, it will be solely going ahead and running their payroll for them. So that would be the silver package. And then the gold package will be the next tier up. This will be for business owners that have more advanced business. They're not solo or in that startup mode any longer. And the majority of your clients fit into the gold package. So here you would be running their payroll, and you can also offer advisory services that really focus on their payroll needs, optimizing their payroll, being able to look at ways that payroll can go ahead, offer solutions to increase employee retention. And then the third option is the diamond package. And with this is for businesses that are more mature. They might, it might be a client that has multiple businesses, and they really want to have complete access to you and have you be their outsourced accounting department. When you're looking at it as far as a payroll package, what that could include is running their payroll, doing the advisory services for them to be able to always make sure that their payroll needs are optimized, and then also including HR services. So this is just an example to give you something to think about regarding payroll solutions and how to be able to package them. Is the diamond is going to be really full scope, outsourced payroll solutions that include the running the payroll for them, any advisory meetings that they might want, and then also about possibly offering some HR solutions as well. So think about how you can go ahead and package that. And when you do that, then it allows you to start earning more than what you're typically charging for clients who are accessing your payroll services.
Well, Loren, now that you've covered the benefits of offering payroll services, packaging, and pricing, what are the 5 steps to get started?
Well, something to think about right from the beginning is pricing your payroll services. With pricing your payroll services, a lot of times it's possible that you're seeing it as a commodity, as a service, and because of that, your prices might be competitive. A lot of times you're undercharging for the service. It might be that you don't feel people actually charge more, or that by focusing on the service part of it, they're seeing you as a technician. So technicians generally make less money than consultants or advisors do. So it might be looking at how you are approaching it. It remains competitive pricing, you're undercharging for it. Clients don't realize that you might be able to offer additional solutions or advisory services with it, which means that you would end up leaving money on the table. So those are some of the things to think about. On the flip side, if you wanted to be able to increase the revenues and the value of someone being able to work with you where you're doing the payroll services for them, then we want them to see you as a payroll solution. That means that you're understanding what it is that is going on with them, why they would want you to do payroll services for them, how you can be able to optimize it, what are some of the things that will help them remain compliant and give them that peace of mind that everything is taken care of. And by doing that, then they're now seeing you as that expert who can help with their payroll needs, as opposed to the technician, which allows you to charge more. Because when people are seen as specialists, it automatically gives you that expertise, and people aren't quite as price sensitive as when they see you as focusing on the data. When I first connected with Bill, he is very involved in his community. And he goes to a lot of network meetings. He's talking about his firm a lot. But what happens is that he was talking about the technical side. He was talking about the services that he was offering. And because of that, it got him new clients, but a lot of them were price sensitive clients who just wanted as much from him as possible and wanted to pay as little as possible. What we did is we started talking about how to communicate the value from the client's perspective in order to appeal to those higher quality clients. And by being able to just change how he was communicating it and focusing on understanding what challenges that particular client had, understanding what it is that they wanted to achieve in their business and speak into that, looking at how he was able to offer solutions, and just changing how he talks about it attracted better value clients to him. And as a result, he was able to bring in an additional $10,000 in new business in less than 30 days. It was just a matter of communicating the value and having the right words to be able to grab the attention of those higher quality clients. And if you had the right words, what would that do for you and your firm?
Well, Lauren, next we're going to be looking at Kickstart Strategy. Oh, I love that name. But before we do that, I think we have our next poll question. Your fees for payroll services. I'm highly satisfied. I offer competitive rates. I need to raise my rates, or I'm still gathering information about how it works and what to charge. Once again, your fees for payroll services. Highly satisfied, offer competitive rates, need to raise my rates, still gathering information about how it works and what to charge.
And I just wanted to check in with Annie. You don't need to unmute yourself. There's a couple of questions in the Q&A that you might want to answer. They're more suited for you than for me.
I think Michelle's been answering those as we've gone along.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure about that.
However, somebody did ask for a template of the packages. They wanted to know how they could put that into their firm.
Okay. What I would say is, I know in there, it was already talked about in Canva. You can go ahead and create a template. And also, I might have a similar template to what I showed on the slide. If you want to go ahead and email me afterwards, because I'm not going to remember here, if you want to email me, I'll go ahead and share that template.
Well, Lauren, here's our answer for the payroll services. Highly satisfied, 6%. Offer competitive rates, 19%. I need to raise my rates, 56%. I'm still gathering information about how it works and what to charge is 19%. Great.
Perfect. Thank you.
For that. Nice.
Oh, so I'm gonna put a resource in there, and anybody that goes ahead, I'm gonna say opts into the resource. I'll make sure that the link for the template is included in the resource or the follow-up email. So let's go ahead and do that. That might be easier. Steve, you want to take it from there?
No, I think you will.
Okay, thank you. I'm just writing a note to add the template resource. So I just want to say, if you are interested in really adding this to what you're doing for your clients, and you want to be able to raise the bar where they're seeing you as an advisor as opposed to a technician, then the free resource that I have is going to go ahead and share advisory meeting guidelines with you. It's at businesssuccesssolution.com/advisor. Go ahead and put that your information in, and you'll immediately get those meeting guidelines.
And Lauren, now that we covered the benefits of offering these payroll services, packaging and pricing, did you go over the 5 steps to get started?
Actually, we're going to go right into that now. So thanks for
Excellent.
me up on that. I appreciate that. So what you want to do when you're thinking about really transitioning in this way with clients, with offering payroll services and how to really be able to kickstart this, is first you just want to go ahead and open up an Excel spreadsheet and just list all your clients and think about which of your clients would benefit from payroll services. Now, what you might want to do, because of the fact that I talked about offering packages, you might even want to have 3 columns that you can just go ahead and check off, where you want to have clients who would benefit from just the compliance part of it and you running payroll for them. You want to add another column for clients that would benefit from payroll solutions, where you're doing advisory services with them. And then you might even want to have a third column for clients that could also benefit maybe from some things to improve employee retention, HR solutions, and those more advanced services that you might be able to offer. So that's something to think about, is just create an Excel spreadsheet, go ahead, open it up and put all your clients there and start to just know who might benefit from which type of services. The next thing to think about is communicating with your client. You want to go ahead and somehow let your clients know that you're moving in this direction, you're making some changes to your firm. You want to do it in a way that is client-centered when you're informing them about that. And that could be either through a regular communication through the mail and a postal service, if that's how you communicate with your clients. It could be an email, which is what most of my clients tend to do, or it could be a phone call. I will let you know that whatever works for you is the best way to do it, but somehow you want to come up with some type of letter or way to communicate with them that you're going ahead and offering these solutions to your client and you're informing them about it. The other thing you want to think about in this communication is, once again, making it benefit driven. Why would they be interested? Why does this matter? How would that make a difference for them with their business, and educate them about that? I will let you know an advanced move when you're getting ready to do this is to first go ahead and send them a letter and then follow up with a call and having a conversation with them. So this is where the third step is you want to schedule a meeting. Once again, you're going to first send out that letter that notifies them of some changes you're making in their business to be able to raise the quality of client services that you're offering. And then you want to go ahead and, if you have someone on your team, follow up with them to schedule a meeting on your calendar to discuss these additional services. You can go ahead and follow up with them. You can offer a calendar link. You can go ahead and just put a set appointment in the email. Either way, but with certain clients, you definitely want to get a meeting on the calendar, especially the ones that you know would really deeply benefit from this. Now, this is something to think about. What are the client benefits? And I would love for you to put in the chat, what are the benefits that your clients receive from offering payroll services? So please go ahead and add in the chat, what are the benefits that your clients receive when you do payroll for them? And would love to hear what you're putting, what you see from your client's point of view, how they benefit. So that's something we'd love to see you put in the chat. But these are some of the things to think about. You want to set some time aside before you meet with them and think about, coming from them and their point of view, they're busy business owners. What are the benefits to them having you do their payroll services? So Kelly's saying less stress, timely tax deposits, and filings. So they get peace of mind, which is right here on the client's benefits. James says, peace of mind that is completed timely and accurately. That seems to be top of mind for a lot of clients, that they want to be able to just have the peace of mind that this is done right, that they are really staying on the right side of being compliant. If anybody else wants to share, please go ahead and do that. But these are the four things that I see, is that clients don't want to be stressed out around, running their payroll. They really are stressed out about enough things in their business. They don't need this either. So if they have you doing it, you can go ahead and take it off their plate. They know that you're on top of things as far as compliance, what needs to be done to run it accurately, and be able to keep their employees happy. So that is peace of mind. They don't need to be stressed out about payroll. The other thing is efficiency. By you running it, you're able to do it a lot more efficiently than if they are doing it themselves, because this is something that you do all day, every day for a wide range of clients, instead of just once a month or once a week or whatever someone's payroll run is going to be. So because of the fact that you know how to do it, you're comfortable with the software, and you're doing it for a wide range of clients, you can do it a lot faster than if they were trying to do it themselves. The other thing is that it makes it easy. And what I mean is, by easy, they just have you do the service. They hand it off to you. And then you go ahead, follow through, and do the rest. So that's how you make it easy for them. And then there's the compliance part of it. Let's face it, the laws are changing steadily. And if you're not on top of it, or if you're not getting the notices of what's changing and keeping up to date with it, then what might have been compliant one day might be out of compliant the next day. So we want to make sure that they are compliant and they are doing nothing that is going to raise eyebrows or bring attention to them and really take away from anything else. So once again, compliance is something that changes all the time, and your clients really want to know that everything is being done according to the tax laws. So those are the 4 ways that clients benefit from you running their payroll for them, and also looking at the benefits of doing the advisory services and maybe even expanding it to the HR part as well. So peace of mind, efficiency, easy, and compliant. The next part to think about is consultation meetings. If you are someone that doesn't like the sales part and you're talking about adding on payroll services or expanding them with your clients, it might feel like you're pitching them because you're looking to increase the revenue of a client. You're looking to get more money from them. And I just want to say, whenever you look at talking with them about you doing more services for them and that they're going to pay you more and it's a get, that is always then where you're focusing on you and what benefits you. And it's uncomfortable. You don't want to make it about you. As a client-centered firm, you want to always have them see you as an advisor. And as an advisor, this means putting your client needs before yours. That means that when you're meeting with them to talk about either enrolling into payroll services or expanding the payroll services that you're already doing and adding in the advisory or possibly the HR, by doing that, you want to do it from a place of what's in their best interest and how they benefit instead of looking at how you benefit. Some of the other benefits that happen, aside from the 4 that I just shared, that you might want to think about also, is how do you save them money because of the fact that you're running payroll for them? So think about what it is that they're paying you for the service as opposed to what the cost is of them running it themselves, taking the time, and by focusing on them doing their own payroll, they're taking time away from some other part of serving their clients or business development. So if you're able to do it, then you're actually saving them money. You're also saving them money from possible penalties if they do something and they didn't realize that the laws changed and now they're out of compliance. So that is something to think about. The other thing to look at is that by doing the payroll services for them, you're actually able to help them make money. Now, that might not sound obvious, but let me explain how you're able to help them make money. Because they don't have to do it themselves any longer, they're able to focus on their own client needs or business development, which means that they're able to do something that advances their business forward. And that is a way to be able to help them make money, is by them being able to continue to have dedicated time in their business and by you taking on the payroll. So those are 2 additional things to think about, is that you can help your clients save money and you can actually help your clients make money when you do this service for them. So when you're having this consultation meeting with them, you want to have that value conversation where you're focusing on what is it they want to achieve. Why does this matter? How can you help them, assist them in that? Educating them about how your payroll services, along with the other wraparound services that you offer, will really help them move forward with what is top of mind for them and what they want to achieve over the next year or so. So that's what you want to think about, is having that consultation meeting where you're asking great questions. They're seeing the value of having you take on that service as well as the other services you already do for them. And at the end of it, they want to know how it works. When it comes to the final part of this is probably the most uncomfortable part of the conversation. This is where you're discussing the investment. This is where, if you start to think about how you benefit from them because they're going to be paying you more money, you're going to have a disconnect. All of a sudden, all that rapport you had from the value conversation where you were asking them these great questions, and now you're starting to think about you getting more money from a client, that's going to create a disconnect, and your client's going to pick up on that subtle change in your focus or your energy or body language. So I want to say this is where you want to be client-centered from the very beginning of the conversation all the way through to the end, including discussing the investment. And what you want to do is really continue to come from that place of being an advisor, focusing on what's in the client's best interest instead of yours. So when it comes to discussing the investment, what you want to do is explain the different packages that you offer. You want to be able to ask them which one feels like a best fit for them. You want to give them the investment for, how much it will be for each of the 3 different packages, and also help them decide which one is a best fit for them. So those are some of the things you want to think about when it comes to this part of the conversation. This is not a close. You are not pitching or selling someone into working with you. You had a conversation with them, they see the value, and now it's coming from a place of service to discuss what would be the next steps moving forward in a very client-centered way. And I just want to check in. I want to make sure that the questions are being answered. So are there any questions that anybody would like to ask regarding what I've been teaching so far? I just want to make sure it's clear. If there's anything coming up for you, I would love to be able to answer those questions for you. So is there anything in the chat or anybody want to mute themselves? Would love to be able to make sure that we're dialing this all in. Steve, anything that you feel that maybe we overlooked that we wanted to add in also? Just checking in with you.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything and nothing has come into the chat. I think there's been a lot of questions going back and forth, but I think that Michelle has been answering some of them, and I think you've been answering some of them also. So no, I think we're good.
Okay, excellent. Just wanted to check in, make sure that there weren't any outstanding questions. We're talking about a lot of different things regarding increasing the value of payroll services, bringing it into your firm if you're not currently offering it. And I just want to make sure that you're good to go so that you can take that next step. When I first connected with Rihanna, she is someone who loves hearing people say yes. Hearing no's feels very confrontational. She doesn't want to disappoint people. She doesn't want to have pushback. So she wants really people to have an easy yes. As a result of that, it meant she was working with a wide range of clients, doing a wide variety of services for them. And she was maxed out as a result of that. So what we did to be able to have a cutback to 3 days a week and increase her revenue is we went ahead and we focused on what her ideal client was. She felt that her quality clients actually were in a niche. They were in the restaurant niche because she had 20 years of working in restaurants at a corporate level before she opened up her own firm. So she went ahead and refocused on really bringing in more clients that were in the restaurant industry. And the other part of it was then we created 3 packages for her. She has silver, gold, and platinum. And by doing this, she was able to bundle services together and start separating fees from time so that she no longer had an hourly rate, and she can now get prepaid for her services instead of having to invoice for services. As you can see, there's different things in each of the different packages. She has the different services that are in each package here. And as you can see, there's also payroll included in all of her bundles. So think about this for you, what it would be like if you could start to go ahead and package payroll services for your clients, bring it into the services that you're already offering, and it would increase the value of a client. It would separate your fees from time in order for you to start earning more without having to connect your fees to time. And once again, this is proprietary to Rihanna. She gave me permission to share it, but please do not copy it. You can model it for inspiration or for you to start thinking about what your packages would be like, but please do not copy it. Once again, this is proprietary for Rihanna, and she generously gave me permission to share that.
Well, Loren, we have our last poll question. How interested are you in talking with Loren about raising your rates? I'd like to schedule a 15-minute consult with Loren. This looks interesting. I'd like to find out more, or I'm not interested at this particular time. Once again, how interested are you in talking with Loren about raising your rates? I'd like to schedule a 15-minute consult. This looks interesting. I'd like to find out more, or I'm not interested at this particular time.
And I know that David was asking if I had an idea of what the packages go for on average. What I would say, it is a wide range of services, but what we really want to think about is what is the value to a client of you doing the packages and then pricing it that way as opposed to what competitive pricing would be. So the majority of accounting firm owners that I speak with, they are actually pricing their services too low. The other thing to look at is as you're adding in, as you're offering packages, so the silver, gold, and the diamond, you're adding in advisory services. Advisory services ramps up the value of a package significantly because you're now working with them closely on solutions that are outcome focused, that are really going to solve their particular needs or allow their business to advance forward in a certain way. And then if you're looking at the diamond level package, that's where you can charge significantly more than what you're currently charging, because not only are you including the advisory services, but you're also looking at the HR services that really affects the culture of the firm, is able to help them be more compliant, and it's a more done for you type of service. So that's something to think about, is looking at the fact that it depends on how you're currently looking at it and valuing it from the client's point of view. So it's something that each firm might have a little bit differently. And so I'm going to go ahead and let's close the poll.
Well, Loren, what we covered today was growing your bottom line, payroll pricing strategy, and our Kickstart strategy. And Loren, you really shared a lot. What do you have for our accounting professionals that would like to get more?
Well, once again, there were great questions in the Q&A. I know that Michelle took care of a lot of them. I really appreciate you answering more of those detailed questions. You were so customer service oriented for your clients, and it really shows by how you and Annie are showing up. So Michelle, thank you for taking care of the chat and answering those Q&A. I just want to say, I know you're busy, that you took time away from working in your business, serving your clients, to join us today, to work on your business, getting those insights, those advanced tips to really raise the bar with what you're doing with your firm. If you felt that you got value from our conversation today, and you want to be able to look at how to be able to increase the value of your clients, including your legacy clients who haven't had a price increase forever, packaging your payroll services along with your other services, and really working with a higher quality client, then I invite you to have a complimentary Path to Profit strategy session with me. This is a dedicated conversation where we're focusing on your firm and what direction it is that you want to go in. And you can go to businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk to be able to get started with having that conversation and looking at how to be able to move forward with your firm by offering packages and raising the value of a client. I also put that in the chat. It's at businesssuccesssolution.com/let's talk. It does have a $500 value, but it is complimentary because I appreciate my connection with Patriot and being able to really spend time with you, hearing more as to what you have going on. Anyway, once again, thank you so much for joining us today, taking time away from working in your business to focus on that one tip, advanced move you can implement today to raise the quality of services you offer your clients. Annie, back to you.
Thank you so much, Loren and Steve. We really appreciate you taking the time to share the knowledge with us, and hopefully everybody on this webinar is able to step away with some useful information that they can put into practice. We will be emailing everybody who registered for the webinar some follow-up information, including a recording of this. This will also be available in our help center. It'll include some resources from Loren and how to get in touch with her. So thank you all again for joining us, and have a great rest of your afternoon.